What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So, the Remoaners are back with yet more nonsense regarding Brexit. And this is coming from quite a few news organisations, including the Brexit Bashing Corporation, who, referring to a public spending watchdog that claims Brexit preparations have cost the government more than £4 billion, with the arch-Remoaning papers obviously blaming the government for this cost. Now, naturally, when it comes to smearing Brexit, the BBC are all over it like a rash. And their article headlines, Brexit preparations cost government more than £4 billion, says Watchdog. Government departments spent more than £4 billion on preparations for leaving the EU, says the public spending watchdog. The National Audit Office said this figure included spending on staff, external advice and advertising. A Treasury spokesman said the government had made all necessary funds available to ensure the country was prepared for leaving the EU. But the Lib Dems claimed billions of pounds have been thrown away in a bid to paper over the Tories' Brexit mess. Oh, so now it's the Tories' Brexit mess, is it? It's not down to the 2017 to 2019 Parliament doing all they could to block Brexit, is it? It's not down to Sir Oliver Letwin or Hilary Benn, is it? It's not their fault, no Lib Dems. It's not Joe Swinson. No? No one else but the Tories, yeah? Incredible. I'm sure it would have cost a lot less if there wasn't any of the Remoaning shitweasels that we had in Parliament during the last few years. The NAO stressed in its report that it was not making a judgment on whether the spending represented value for money. Well, I can tell you now it probably wouldn't represent value for money because, like I said, the Remoaners in Parliament and the media spent the last few years doing all they could to block and delay Brexit. So most of the money, I'm sure, would be wasted on the countless times it was delayed and the different preparations needed depending on the situation at the time. Of course, thanks to the Remoaning Parliament. It also emphasised that these figures represented a minimum estimated level of spend due to limitations in the data provided by departments. Oh, so what they're saying is it might have actually cost us more than that, yeah? Oh, great. That's nice. So we can thank the Remoaning Parliament with the help of the Remoaning soy boy John Burkuck, who, as you all know, blames himself for his missus getting ploughed into by his cousin. The Spending Watchdog's report found that the Home Office, HM Revenue and Customs and the Environment Department accounted for more than half of the £4.4 billion spent on Brexit preparations. Between 2016 and 2017 and 2019 to 20, the Treasury made £6.3 billion of additional funding to cover the cost of the UK leaving the EU with or without a deal. Of this money, at least £1.9 billion was spent on staffing. The NAO said staffing levels peaked in October 2019 when 22,000 civil servants were working on Brexit planning. You know, when the Remoaners in Parliament were claiming that Boris Johnson wasn't doing anything to get Brexit done or what they wanted to make a deal that made us subservient to the EU. Advertising, building new systems and other services cost at least £1.5 billion. This included spending £283 million to build the EU settlement scheme and £69 million on Operation Brock, a traffic management system to be used in Kent in the event of a no-deal Brexit. The £1.5 billion also covered the £46 million spent on the government's Get Ready for Brexit campaign. Earlier this year, the NAO said it was not clear that the campaign led to the public being significantly better prepared. Yeah, and it probably didn't. These things very rarely do, but I expect it wasn't helped by the Remoaning media going against Brexit at every turn. With the help, of course, of shitweasels in Parliament like the Corbynated Chicken and Joe Swinson. Expertise and external advice cost £288 million, while local government organisations received £104 million. Government departments also reported £92 million in losses relating to Brexit. This includes £50 million paid to ferry companies and £33 million to Eurotunnel. The chairwoman of the Commons Public Accounts Committee, Meg Hillier, said the public has been kept in the dark as to what the government has been doing. No, the public just want them to get Brexit done. They're not interested in the ins and outs of what they're doing. They would also like the grooming gang report released, which there is a petition up for now and will be linked in the description. They're not really that fussed what the government is doing outside of that. They just want the things that matter to them done, like Brexit. how much they had to spend on different things relating to Brexit because of Remoaners in Parliament is not really that important to them. So your claims about transparency are nonsense at the end of the day. Data is limited and the Treasury seems unconcerned by the lack of transparency, like most people are. Liberal Democrat Brexit spokesman Alistair Carmichael said, "In the face of major floods and the human malware threat, we have to ask if the government knows its own spending priorities. And I have to ask where you got your lone brain cell because it seems to be on its way out. The floods and the human malware came after this money had been spent. It's a report on money spent, you complete dumbass." So how can the government or anyone be asked if it knows its spending priorities when they had already spent this money before any of the stuff you're talking about was actually a thing? Talk about clutching at straws. The head of the NAO, Gareth Davies, said in preparing for EU exit, government departments planned for multiple potential outcomes, with shifting timetables and uncertainty. Once again, the fault of the Remoaners in Parliament who did all they could to block Brexit. You notice how the BBC have not pointed that out once. Producing this report has highlighted limitations in how government monitored spending on EU exit specifically, and cross-government programmes more generally. So like I said, they are just talking a complete load of shit. Yes, all this money was spent, but the BBC have not pointed out once that the Remoan in Parliament delayed Brexit consistently and did all they could to stop it, which, last I checked, cost more money. We also had ITV jumping in on the Remoaning as you would expect, and nothing new, it's exactly the same as the BBC's bullshit. Without once pointing out the fact that the Remoan in Parliament caused these costs to spiral at the end of the day. It doesn't take fucking Albert Einstein to work that out, does it? But on that note guys, I am going to end the video there. Now before I go, I've started doing live streams and uploading gaming content on my second channel. If you would like to come and join me for a live stream to chat in real time, have an interest in gaming related content on YouTube, or just want to follow me over there because you are a legend, the link will be down in the video description below and as a pinned comment. I hope to see you all there. Now as always, before I go, I want to thank our PayPal, Patreon, Subscribestar and YouTube members for supporting the channel, along with everyone who watches my videos. Remember to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Leave a like, subscribe with the notification bell and share this video as it helps the channel a lot, and I will see you all in the next one.
There is a pattern consistent throughout history of oppressed people turning on the oppressors, slaves against their owners, the peasantry against the feudal barons, colonies, Mr. Verhofstadt, against their empires, and that is why Britain is leaving. And it doesn't matter which language you use, we are going, and we are glad to be going. We're off.